What's up, y'all? Hope y'all doing good. I'm Anthony K. Thomas, and welcome to Wrestling with Rumors. So, before I get into everything that is a new episode of Wrestling with Rumors, I gotta say, like I say every week here, that the rumors that I am about to read are exactly what they are. They are rumors. We speculate as wildly and freely as we want, but until they are proven fact, whether it be on TV or in some kind of other way, they remain what they are, rumors that we speculate as wildly as we want. Let our imaginations run as free as we want with these rumors until they are proven as fact. So, with that, let's get into everything that is Wrestling with Rumors. WWE's long-term plans call for Braun Breaker to turn on Seth Rollins, according to Bodyslam.net's Viper. The turn is still a ways off, but it said seeds have already been planted. So if this is a turn that is going to happen, this sounds like something that possibly could happen come WrestleMania. When Braun Breaker eventually splits off from Rollins, Vipers heard that Paul Heyman will stick with Braun. So I feel that feeds more into that if this is going to happen, this is probably something that is going to happen at WrestleMania. No idea how the turn is going to happen, if it does happen. But they say it's a ways off, so that really leaves things in a very vague place because there's really no telling how long this Seth Rollins faction will really last. But I think it's a good idea to keep a thought like this in the back of our mind that a possible turn from Braun Breaker is coming, but staying focused on what's in front of us with this faction right now and just staying on top of everything that's going on with this faction, what they're doing and what they might be doing, and plans for Seth Rollins to eventually be a World Heavyweight Champion. And I also feel like if the turn is going to happen, if the turn does happen and it happens sometime next year around WrestleMania, I feel like it involves Braun Breaker wanting that World Heavyweight Championship that Seth Rollins will eventually have once he cashes in. According to WrestleVotes Radio, WWE is planning to run NXT Heatwave on Sunday, August 24th in South Carolina. That's the same date as AEW's Forbidden Door pay-per-view in London. So during the Great American Bash, NXT did announce that their next PLE will be Heatwave Sunday, August 24th. So we know that's coming. And it should be another great weekend in the summer. As we get towards the end of summer, with AEW and NXT, so options galore, right? Moving forward, the outlet heard that WWE is intentionally scheduling shows on the same days as AEW events in order to control the narrative and momentum online. The counter-programming strategy is a directive that's coming from WWE and supported by TKO that they will be doing more of it going forward. To add to that, Snap went on to state that WWE views AEW as competition regardless of what the dumbest fans say. Okay, so here's how I feel when I put those two together is that WWE is not taking AEW for granted. They are not looking past AEW as the dominant brand. They're looking at AEW as competition, as they should. AEW over the last few years, they have slowly started to build up not only their roster, but their fan base and the kind of shows that they put on, which for the most part are different from what you see in WWE. And that is great. It is great to have options, and it is great to have options within the world of professional wrestling, especially with what is and isn't on television as far as pro wrestling goes. So when you have WWE and then you have AEW, and they're both on TV and they're both on major networks, this is good to have those options. So yes, WWE should look at them as competition. Yes, they should keep doing what they're doing, even if that, especially putting on PLEs against AEW pay-per-views on the same night, on the same day. It's competition for them, but it's pure entertainment and options for the fans. And I want to see AEW do the same thing. I want to see AEW look at WWE's calendar like WWE has looked at AEW's calendar and plan a show the same day as WWE. If WWE is doing what is being said in the rumor, which they pretty much are, I want to see AEW do the same thing. I want to see AEW put on a show on the same day. I don't want to see AEW be scared and reprogram or reschedule a certain show because a WWE show is on, and they're scared that they're worried about people not wanting to watch an AEW show because they are going to be watching that show instead. Case in point, WWE put on the Great American Bash the same day and time as AEW All In. And WWE is very aware that there are a nice handful and more to fill up a stadium and to fill up houses and apartments and condos with their TVs to watch AEW All In. They know that, but they still put on the NXT Great American Bash at the same time because they got the cojones, they got the balls to go ahead and say, well, if AEW is going to have All In on, let's see if we can get some of our fans and some of their fans to watch NXT Great American Bash. And you know what? Let them. I'm sure for the most part, it partly worked. And I'm mostly sure for the most part, it didn't work. But it doesn't matter because we had options and everyone had a great weekend with what they chose to watch. And there's nothing wrong with that. Longevity and options in professional wrestling are two great things. And what we're seeing between WWE and AEW now is great, just as long as it doesn't end the way it did between WWF at the time and WCW. As long as it doesn't end like that and we keep things like this with the competition, I'm all for it. I love watching it. It's entertaining for the fans. I could keep going on this alone, but I think y'all get the point of what I'm saying. What's competition for them is entertainment for us, and it's good, and everyone's at their A game, and we're getting the best of the best from both sides, and it's great. Moving on. The Dallas Morning News notes that Dustin Rhodes signed a 6-year contract with AEW towards the end of 2024 to work as a coach, ambassador, and occasional wrestler. So this is absolutely true. Dusty Rhodes signed an extension to his deal with AEW already. This seems like something where that Dustin Rhodes has found a real home with AEW, and it's really more like it seems like it's more likely that he is going to retire with AEW, kind of like what Sting did with AEW. He came back for a couple years and then retired with AEW. I feel like that's the same for Dustin Rhodes. Dustin Rhodes is more towards retirement in the ring and being a locker room leader, someone that people can turn to for advice and opinions. And that's great for AEW to have these kind of legends to be backstage, to answer questions and help in any way with the young talent, with the guys and girls. So that's absolutely a cool thing. I think once it's all said and done for Dusty Rhodes, the only other time that we'll see Dustin Rhodes in WWE will be at the Hall of Fame, when they offer to give him the Hall of Fame. That is Dustin Rhodes, but as Goldust. I feel like when it's Hall of Fame time, when it's all said and done for Dustin Rhodes and he accepts the WWE Hall of Fame, I think he'll get it, and it'll be for Goldust, I believe. Anyway, last one. PW Insider says WWE's plan for Jelly Roll is to work a tag match at SummerSlam with Randy Orton as his partner. From what we saw on Friday Night SmackDown, that is exactly what's going to happen, especially what we saw on Saturday night's main event with Jelly Roll and Randy Orton's corner. Yeah, that's absolutely where we're going. Tag match at SummerSlam. It'll be interesting. It'll definitely be more Randy Orton in the ring, but I feel like, especially with some of the weight that Jelly Roll has lost, I feel like he's trying to prepare. This is something that's been in the making for a while. So, hey, I'm all for it. I mean, it'll be, if anything, it'll definitely be entertaining. And it'll probably be a night 2 match at SummerSlam, if anything. But that will do it for this week's edition of Wrestling with Rumors. I appreciate all of you for watching, and it's been a great weekend in pro wrestling, and let's look forward to all the fallout that will come from WWE and AEW over this past week of shows, and a good time, as all signs point to August for WWE and AEW as we get on the next stop to SummerSlam for WWE and Heatwave for NXT and for Forbidden Door for AEW. So until all of that, and until next time, don't forget to take care of yourselves, and I will see you on the next one. Peace, y'all.